What are the other people
Uh, yes,
that
the YouTube live streaming has been started.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's conducting? Yes, sir. Ritwik?
Rutwik is conducting the live channel.
Then who is starting it? Saurabh.
Gaurav.
All right. If nobody is there, I myself will start. I will give a brief intro about World Nature Conservation Day. I'm Lata, the ACP
Okay.
coordinator.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. World Nature Conservation Day, observed every year on 28th July, serves as a powerful reminder of our responsibility to protect and preserve our planet's natural resources. In 2025, the day gains even more significance as the world continues to face mounting challenges like unprecedented climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution due to different causes. It highlights the urgent need for sustainable development and encourages individual communities and governments to adopt practices that ensure the long-term health of our environment. Celebrating this day promotes awareness about the importance of conserving forests, wildlife, water bodies, and clean air, which are essential for balanced and healthy ecosystems. It also serves as a call to action, urging everyone to participate in nature-friendly activities such as tree planting, reducing plastic usage, conserving energy, and supporting conservation policies. World Nature Conservation Day 2025 is a moment to reflect, act, and reaffirm our collective commitment to safeguarding nature for future generations. This day also highlights the need to save our planet, its ecosystems, natural resources, and biodiversity. It raises awareness that everyone should work together to promote fighting environmental damage, sustainable practices, and follow lifestyle for environment known as LIFE. The program is known as LIFE. Lifestyle Environment Initiative plays a key role in the World Nature Conservation Day 2025. This concept was introduced by PM Modi at COP26 in Glasgow, 1st November 2021. It focuses on bringing small changes which support the environment like not using plastic bags, using water and electricity carefully, using eco-friendly transports like cycling, walking, or use a public transit, segregating and recycling waste wherever possible. These are basic changes to adapt, but it would lead to big changes in handling environmental problems. World Nature Conservation Team for 2025 is connecting people and plants, exploring digital innovations in wildlife conservation. Environmental engineering has a very significant part to play in all these fields from planning to execution. We are fortunate to have Dr. Joshi today, who has immensely contributed towards the varied environmental related fields for an invited talk on the role of environmental engineering in nature conservation. Srikanth?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for this brief highlight about the World Nature Conservation Day. Uh, Now, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, Dr. Saurabh S Joshi. Dr. Saurabh S Joshi is currently serving as the head and associate professor in Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at KIT's College of Engineering, Kolhapur. With over 15 years of rich academic and professional experience, he brings deep expertise in the field of environmental engineering. He holds a PhD in wastewater engineering and MTech in green building and technology and bachelor's degree in environmental engineering. His contribution in the field have been recognized nationally, having received the SAP Excellence Award from IIT Mumbai, the Young Scientist Award from Green Aerotech, and the Wetland Warrior Award from the Bengola Municipal Corporation for his outstanding work in the wetland conservation and management. Dr. Saurabh Joshi has also made a significant contributions in research and innovation, with around 18 patents to his name, out of which 4 international patents are from UK. He has published over 50 research papers in national and international journals and participated in 10 to 12 conferences at various places. In addition, he has served as a resource person for UGC and MHRD schemes, as well as for Atal faculty development programs, especially in the domains of environment, civil engineering, and research methodology. He is also editorial board member and reviewer for more than 80 reputed journals. Beyond academics, Dr. Joshi sir is actively engaged in consultancy projects related to water and wastewater management with a specialized interest in air pollution. He heads a research initiative in Kolhapur called Combat Climate Change, where he leads efforts in analyzing climatological and meteorological data for sustainable development. He is also a member of several respected organizations, including IST, the Institution of Engineers, Center for Sustainable Environmental Excellence, Indian Water Works Association, and ESD, that is Environmental and Social Development Agency. Under his mentorship, 6 to 7 MTech students have graduated, and he currently guides PhD scholars at Shivaji University in the field of environmental engineering. On a personal note, it is a matter of great pride and honor for me to mention that I had a privilege of being his student during my BE and MTech studies. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Saurabh S Joshi, a true inspiration in the field of environmental sustainability and engineering.
Thank you, Dr. Latha and Mr. Srikanth. In front of Dr. Latha Madam, I am like a sand in a big ocean. I'm just 35 years old and holded the position in the as a head of the department in environmental engineering, which is one of the oldest college in the Shivaji University and only one college in Maharashtra offering BTech in environmental engineering. And I'm always passionate to have and be there in IITM because during my UG tenure, I had been visited IITM and as a student, and I have checked that we have LIDAR technology, we have sondes for measurement of environmental lapse rate, dry adiabatics lapse rate. Then even you are taking the core of any tree and you can measure the age of the particular. So I was really passionate at that time to be part of IITM. Also, one of my student she has about to completed her PhD. Her name is Miss Pooja Pawar. She is from Kolhapur. Yeah. Okay, so and one more student was there. He is my son of colleague, Dr. Muzumdar, Kaustub Muzumdar. He was there in IITM. So I always have a what it is called as a more affection towards IITM because I know how quality of work, research work that has been done by IITM. Now, as Srikanth requested me, he is one of our sincere and a good student. I should not say on behind him, but it is that he is a really good student and he'll definitely asset to our esteemed organization. So without taking much of time, I think I should start with the session.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for the nice words.
Yes, madam. Srikanth, should I start?
Yes, sir, please. You can start sharing your screen, sir.
Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to cover the fundamentals of environmental, a deterministic and holistic approach towards sustainability. So basically, if you see, we called it as our body and our complete entire system is made up of the Pancha Mahabhuta. Like, so everyone is like connected with each other. So the basically environment is a complex system where all the domains like air, water, waste, and noise are interdependent on each other. So basically, if you say that is called as a polluter pay principle, isn't it? What we pollute, it can comes any of the way to us only. So we should have to think that how much should I pollute? Because I personally feel that air pollution has got long-term impact, and water and wastewater has got very short impact on a human health. And the air pollution, that definitely, I had made research, even I have gone through the various journal paper and research. So it is deteriorating our health as well as it is deteriorating our age as well. So come to the basic things that everyone should understood so that you can contribute more in the field of environmental engineering. Of course, environmental, the topic which has given to me by Dr. Lathan, Mr. Srikanth, that is the role and scope of environmental engineer. So basically, it is something like a Hatke branch wherein you can do more of the things. There is a very less expertise available in the field of environmental engineering, and everyone like contribute in this field so as to make the sustainable world, sustainable atmosphere, sustainable competency. So the pollution is one of the domain adversely impact and other chain reaction of environmental issues. So how all these things are dependent? See, I always tell to the students, we are living in an atmosphere. So what is there before? It was a biosphere. Then when there is a interaction, then it was a lithosphere. when it comes to the water, we call it as a hydrosphere. Then we go ahead, there is a toposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, ionosphere, exosphere, which is up to the roundabout 10,500 kilometers, etc. So even we cannot predict the behavior of the air, the behavior of the contaminant, the behavior of the pollutant in a toposphere. Isn't it? So all of the activities are interconnected. So there are different types of pollutants, like primary pollutants are there, secondary pollutants are there, tertiary pollutants are there. So if you take a basic example of air emission, I'm living in a Kolhapur city. I would not take the name of that particular city, but there is a production of textile. There is a production. There are a number of industries related with the textile production. Ultimately, it releases SOx and NOx like gases and particulate matters into the atmosphere. When it is scrubbed by the by the rain or any kind of precipitation, it is turns into the formation of the acid rain. So acid rain, so these gases are combined with the water droplets and form the acid rain, which ultimately pollutes the water environment as well as the land environment. Now, if you see the effect of water pollution and air and land environment is nothing but when we dispose the untreated sewage into the atmosphere, rather into the water environment, it leads to generate various kind of gases like methane and volatile organic carbon. Then waste accumulated near the land environment, so which causes the land pollution. Then ultimately, as you know, that untreated sewage, it is in the liquid form or the solid form, that is goes to the that is percolate or permeate through the soil and reaches up to the groundwater table. We call it as a leachate, right? Then open dumping, the effects of solid waste over the air and water environment. Again, the same thing. We are dumping the solid waste in the land like anything. Right? Per capita solid waste generation rate is around about 490 grams. If you compare that 490 grams with the entire population of Kolhapur, entire population of the Pune, Mumbai, then this much amount of solid waste generated. On the other hand, we have a very not stringent system to properly dispose that solid waste in a good and coordinated manner. So it becomes open dumping. So lands are like open dumping, and they are polluting, they are creating the gases as well as contamination of the water resources, and the leachate problem due to the solid waste is day by day increasing, which leads to the groundwater pollution. Now, if you see the water, then the water plays crucial role in the supporting of human ecosystem, human health. Globally, the water use has increased by roughly 1% year over last 40 years. Now, I would like to tell like what I told you about the solid waste. Likewise, human needs to be required around about 200 liter per capita per day water daily. for all the purpose like bathing, cooking, flushing, drinking, all this purpose, isn't it? Out of which 85% is termed as a wastewater. People don't have people don't have a clean water or good water or drinkable water or potable water to drink. On the other hand, we are generating this much amount of wastewater daily. Is our system is competent to treat that wastewater and dispose it into the whichever the standards laid down by the pollution control board? The big question, and there is a really need to think of this. So we can see there are some of the no stress zone and scarcity zone and absolute scarcity zone in Maharashtra, where there is a severity of the water crisis are there. We used to take a daily water, but these are the region wherein they are getting a water once in a week, rather once in a 15 days or once in a blue moon. Again, the point comes that river water environment, that river quality status. We can see that the industries are, I'm not telling they are dispersing their wastewater indirectly into the river, but after partial treatment, they are dispersing that particular wastewater into the river. So riverine system is to be considered as a lifeline or the bloodline of the human body. But due to the intense amount of pollutant, contaminant, trace element, and other elements, the rivers are day by day getting polluted. So there are also different rivers who are almost on the verge of becomes a death or becomes black. There are different water resources such as a river, lake, pond, stream, ocean, well, tube wells, and infiltration galleries as well as wells. So these are the specifications that are being laid down by the Pollution Control Board, World Health Organization as far as the drinking water quality standards are concerned. So basically we need to determine what is water quality index. Water quality index is basically tell us how much clean water we supposed to drink. What should be the quality of that, all the parameters should be there so that it becomes a good for the drinkable purpose. So it is a single term for water quality analysis. It is a easy way to understand the status of water quality, comparing the water quality for different water bodies. NSF as well as WHO collaborating Center for Water Quality, Food Safety and Indoor Environment Health Standards. NSF developed in the year of 1970. So that is National Sanitation Foundation. So there are different types of steps for calculating the water quality index. So first is a selection of parameters. We should have to assign them the different types of weight. Then quality rating systems and scale are there. Sub-index calculation there, aggregation is there, and based upon all these things, we can say that the water quality is good, poor, excellent, very poor, or unsuitable for the drinking purpose. So these are the example of water quality index of particular Kham river. You can take this. So water quality selection of parameters is there, where RW is a relative weight and AW is the assigned weight of ith parameter, and N are the number of parameters that you are going to select for the determination of water quality. So assigning weights is also important term by using a formula RWI is equals to AWI summation divided by summation of AWI. So you can do the various calculations. So assigning the QI is the quality rating, CI is the measured concentration of each parameter, SI is the surface water standard for each parameter. It is something like previously what we do to determine the air quality index, actual concentration divided by standard concentration multiplied by 100. But nowadays, looking towards the various involvement of various parameters, various contingencies, we have somewhat redefined the water quality index determination by using the involvement of different parameters, that is a mathematical based parameters. So there are different steps. Fourth number step is a calculation of the sub-index. Fifth, aggregation of sub-indices. And based upon that, we are calculating the water quality index is as per the scale. So if your water quality index is less than 50, then it is termed as excellent. On the other hand, if it is more than 300, then it is a water unsuitable for the drinking purpose. I guess at the most of the rivers which are there in Maharashtra as well as India, they are day by day polluting because of disposal of wastewater, like sewage from the wastewater from the sewage treatment plant, actually from the industry, sugar industries and other type of industry. It is getting day by day polluted and water quality index deteriorates. So why treatment is required? Based upon the qualitative assessment, it is required to treat the raw water reaching to the consumer end. So safe industrial use, agriculture use, and compliance with the regulation. So for that purpose, I needs to require treatment. So if you see the basically water treatment process that knows everyone. So basically there is a bar screen, aeration, primary sedimentation. I'll go for the coagulation, flocculation, then secondary treatment, and the last one is filtration. After filtration, up to the filtration, we are not going to kill any of the bacteria in the process. When I'm going to add the chlorine into the water, that chlorine is act as a disinfectant, isn't it? So why chlorine? Again, the least priority has been given to the water treatment facilities. Why chlorine? Because chlorine is easily available, it is cheap in rate, and the method of application is very easy. So the last process wherein bacteria is killed is called as a disinfection. So the quality of water resources, apart from the treatment of raw water, various water bodies, it is important to maintain the qualities of that water bodies. So what are the reasons for deteriorating of the water quality? So intrusion of the wastewater, improper sewer system. So what are the basic steps for maintaining that water quality? So you should have to identify the source of the pollution. Very important is the source of the pollution. When you identify the source of the pollution, then you can see in the solid waste there are 4 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. So out of which, if you reduce the pollution at the source, then you need not have more stress on the various treatment plant, whether it is related with the water, whether related with the wastewater, or effluent treatment waste, or effluent ETPs. Understand the composition of the wastewater generated from the different resources. For that purpose, you need to carry out the extreme survey, which will gives you the proper composition and management or treatment required for the different types of wastewater. There are different types of wastewater generated through the industry. One industry is produce the acidic wastewater. Another one is like producing alkaline wastewater. So that's why we are going to provide them the treatment like proportioning, etc., so as to make the wastewater neutral. So water pollution is a severe cause: municipal sewage discharge, industrial discharge, combined discharge. Non-point sources is like landfill leachate, agriculture runoff, urban runoff, suburban runoff. So wastewater generation, the estimated wastewater generation is round about, this is a really serious thing and needs to worry, 39 million liters per day, the rate of wastewater generated. And wastewater waste generated in a 2021, it is up to the 72,368. Okay, so you can see that there are class 1 cities having a population and their wastewater generated rates. So you can see the graph of class of the city against the volume. So these are the composition of the municipal wastewater. So we should have to, these are the major contributors of high strength water in addition to the domestic. Hotels and motels are there, food establishment, hospitals, and laundry. So if you can see the conventional wastewater treatment plant, then in the conventional wastewater treatment plant, there are wastewater stream. Primary treatment is like bar screen, oil and grease, primary clarifier, bioreactor tank is there, secondary clarifier, filtration unit, and disinfection. It is nothing but the combination of preliminary treatment, primary treatment, secondary treatment, filtration, and it is followed by the tertiary treatment. Isn't it? So physical treatment, biological treatment, and the chemical treatment. In a biological treatment, there are various options available, such as the activated sludge filter or activated sludge process. Trickling of filter process is there. So which gives the better efficiency as far as the conventional treatment plants are concerned. Now we need to go for the advanced treatment so as to get the so as to so as to treat the wastewater in very efficient and good manner. As far as the new standard of NGT, National Green Tribunals, are concerned, they have reduced the BOD of any effluent has to be less than the 10 mg per liter. So is it a conventional treatment which is going bring down the BOD level up to the 10 mg per liter? So we need to go for the advanced treatment. Now, shifting towards sustainable approach, that is important thing. Urbanization is there. We are doing lot of infrastructure development. Then lot of invention has been produced in the field of environmental engineering. But behind everything, we need to do the sustainable approach. So social connection is there, skilled manpower required, mechanized energy intensive process, CapEx and OpEx are there. There are a lot of challenges. So solution is eco-friendly and social connect. And the last one is the most important. I have a lot of technologies. I know it gives me the better result, but what about the cost economics? So it is nothing but a deadly combination of eco-friendly technology, social connect, and the cost effectiveness. Now, this is something what the 3D model IWT-based green STPs. So future IWT-based green STPs are there. We can store this. We can use this type of technology: SBBR tank, primary treatment tank, disinfection unit, wetland at the we say that decentralized wastewater treatment plant, something like that. So reuse of STP treated wastewater in a different sector. Construction sector is there. Then street spraying is there, irrigation purpose, industrial purpose, flushing and commercial public utilities, firefighting, railway station, where we can use the treated sewage wastewater. Only the thing is that one of my friend is working in one of the good organization. I don't want to take the name of that organization, but wherein they are treating that wastewater in a such a way that you cannot distinguish between the wastewater, the water, and the wastewater. Only the problem associated is nothing but the odor problem. They haven't removed it 100%. So 3R strategies for wastewater management: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So reduction in the freshwater consumption, reduction in water pollution, reduction in water treatment cost, then sustain in water stress condition. So again, some of the rainwater, for that purpose, we should have to go for the rainwater is one of the renewable source. Maximum use of potential of renewable resources in the field of environmental engineering is needed. Whichever the schemes that has been floated by the government of India, I really appreciate. They are providing a good subsidy for the solar. So solar is like a renewable resources and which is present in abundant amount. So these are the standard diagram for the rainwater harvesting, wherein every system has to be there so as to get the maximum water. So water pollution impact on human health and ecologies. You can see that degraded groundwater, degraded surface water quality, loss of wetlands are there. Then human health, soil pollution, and climate change. So I should have to focus more on the field of air pollution. So you can see the CH4 and N2O emissions from untreated wastewater contribute significantly to country's greenhouse gases emission, GHG emission. A current hot burning issue in the market is GHG, greenhouse gases. Everyone talks about the greenhouse gases. I also used to teach the student what is greenhouse. Students and the people are get confused between the greenhouse gases and global warming. What is it? How it works? There are different types of technologies like dust devil effect, heat island effect, canopy effect, dome effect, shape effect. Now, what is greenhouse gases and its emission that we are going to see afterwards? In 2016, GHG emission from the wastewater handling in India totaled 59,400 GG of CO2 equivalent. So it is equivalent. That term is used in a CDM, clean development mechanism. There are three types of CDM mechanism. That is nothing but emission trading, emission market, then CDM market, etc. Wherein these are the CH4, N2O, not only these two gases, but entire 6 gases. NOx is there, SOx is there, PFC is there, sulfur hexafluoride is there, carbon carbon dioxide there. They are directly contributing for the increase of the temperature of that particular earth. So there are different types of health effect due to the water pollution. So pathogens, nutrient pollution, chemical pollution, microplastic. This is also one of the biggest issue. E-waste. This is also one of the biggest issue that has been faced by the community. So we'll come to somewhat part of the solid waste management. So you can see here that India generate 1,70,339 metric tons of waste per day, out of which 91,511 metric ton of wastewater is processed or treated, which equates to the 54% of the total waste generation. This is the data source that has been given by the annual report of Solid Waste Management Central Pollution Control Board, Delhi. So state-wise, this is nothing but the state-wise solid waste generation and processing. You can see Maharashtra is leading in that. So in a municipal solid waste, there are two types of approach. One is a centralized approach and another one is a decentralized system. Now in a centralized approach, operationalizing and any initiative or intervention involves planning, decision-making, implementation, monitoring and evaluating, managed by the governing body. So that is like a current system. Now we should have to go for the decentralized system, emphasize bottoming up planning, actively involve primary stakeholders in decision making, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. So key components, as you know, that is called as the functional elements of solid waste management. There is a municipal solid waste generation. There is a storage. There are two different types of bin that has been incorporated. One is a dry waste, another one is a wet waste. Then collection by any means, alley side, curb side, then by using a truck, stationary compactors, a big dustbin, etc. Then transfer and transportation. This plays important role and key role wherein most of the recycle and recover things has been done. Most of the recycle and recover things has been done. And after that, whatever the residue remains, the waste remains, that we are going to send it for the treatment and the management. There are two types of waste. One is biodegradable waste and another is non-biodegradable waste. The biodegradable waste we can send for the landfilling, not dumping. And the non-biodegradable waste that we are sending for the incineration, not for the burning. There is a difference between incineration and burning. There is a difference between dumping and landfilling. Please try to understand. So national average per capita waste generation is 123.45 gram per capita per day. So key components, yes, storage, collection, transfer, transportation, treatment and management. There are different types of plants in a Pune city as well. I have seen wherein one of our alumni, Mr. Sanjay Nandre, he's model colony. He has a very good plant as far as the solid waste treatment and management is concerned. So treatment technology is based upon the waste composition, pyrolysis, gasification, incineration, then composting, waste to energy. So there is a vermicomposting, windrows composting, in-vessel composting, and biomethanation. So e-waste is also currently a hot and burning issue. E-waste is an electronic product that are unwanted, not working and nearing at the end of their use. India's e-waste surges by 73% in next 5 years. So for that purpose, e-waste management needs to be required. Plastic waste. India generates round about 9.3 million tons of plastic waste every year, which is about 1/5 of total global plastic waste. So plastic waste consists of all these things. Then biomedical waste. In year 22, about 705 tons per day of biomedical waste was generated in India, out of which 645 tons per day BMW waste management was treated and disposed of through the various techniques like incineration, plasma pyrolysis, autoclaving, and recycling. So solid waste, and there are a lot of revenue streams are there. That is called as a circular economy. I'll talk on that more afterwards. So first is a waste to energy, RDF, refuse derived fuel, biomethanation is there, vermicomposting is there, composting is there, where are a lot of revenue things are there. Now R is air environment. Basically, if you talk, that is what my favorite and most liked topic. I would like to start with the basic definition of air pollution. When the normal composition of air it changes due to the anthropogenic sources and natural sources is called as air pollution. The percentage of nitrogen present in atmosphere is 78%. The oxygen is 21%, and the trace gases are like remaining one. So if the composition of oxygen is plus or minus, plus is fine. If it is get minus, then it is air pollution. If concentration of nitrogen is more than this, then it is air pollution. Right? So air quality current status in India, if you see the deterioration of the air quality affects the plants and animal. India has ranked 5th most polluted country in the world 2024. The 13 Indian cities made up of the world top 20 most polluted cities. So these are the somewhat like current status in India as far as the air pollution. So if you see the sources, there are very less natural sources, but more anthropogenic sources which are directly contributing the air pollution. Volcanic activities, dust storms, smoke, sea salt, these are natural sources. Power plant, vehicular emission, landfill, like transportation, these are the anthropogenic or artificial or man-made sources. So these are the pollution emissions. There is a mobile source, there is an area source, there is a point source through which the pollutant emissions comes into the atmosphere. There are primary pollutant. All the people who are listening it may be expert in the field of environment. Some of the like youngsters, those are newly in the field of environmental engineer. When you work in the field of environmental engineer, I personally feel that whichever it may be the area, air, water, wastewater, soil, noise, ESG, GHG, etc., we should have to start with the scratch so that we can reach up to the roots of that particular problem. Like, right? I was saying that criteria pollutant. What are the criteria pollutant? Criteria pollutants are like some of the pollutant, those who are having the ability to harm the human being. I'll start with the first is a particulate matter. Two types of particulate matters are there, PM 2.5 and PM 10. Then PM 2.5, we called it as SPM and RSPM, isn't it? So SPM that we cannot inhale, that are getting trapped at the noise level, but RSPM that we are inhaling and it reaches up to the lungs. Then carbon monoxide is there, nitrogen dioxide is there, sulfur dioxide is there, lead is there, ground level ozone. If ozone is present in a stratosphere, it is good because which filtrates the ultraviolet radiations that are coming from the Earth's surface and reaches to the Earth's surface. That is good for the filtration of harmful UV radiation. But if the ozone is present on a troposphere, it is a pollutant. It splits the oxygen, and one oxygen is react with the nascent oxygen to form the ozone. That's why the name has been given to them is a criteria pollutant, those who are having the capacity to cause the harm. As I told you that water has got short-term impact. If you take the wastewater, if you drink the water which is polluted, which is dirty, immediately it is followed by loose motion or diarrhea or vomiting. But if you breathe a bad air, polluted air, laden air, you cannot find the impact immediate. You can have this impact after the age of 40. That is called as a long-term impact. It reduces the lung carrying capacity. If you see the exposure of the air pollutant on the human health, then you can find that amnesia, nausea, headache, tinnitus, then throat infection, eye infection, lung infection, respiratory tract problem. These are the problems that are really somewhat dangerous. Then, as per National Ambient Air Quality Standards, The Central Pollution Control Board in India defines the acceptable concentration of various air pollutant in the ambient air. So what should be the level in the industrial, residential, and rural other areas and other ecologically sensitive areas based upon the 1 hour concentration, 8 hour concentration. Now I was telling you about the greenhouse effect. Now, what is greenhouse effect? You should understand this. There is a sun, there is a earth. From the sun to the earth, whatever the radiations are coming, that are called as a short wave radiation. These short wave radiation that are coming on the earth's surface, either they get absorbed, they absorb on the earth's surface, they reflect through the earth's surface, and remaining radiations are reflected back into the atmosphere. So the incoming solar radiations from the sun to the earth's surface is called as short wave radiation. And the outgoing solar radiations from the earth's surface to the sun, that are called as a long wave radiation. There are different types of greenhouse gases like CO2, NOx, SOx, methane, perfluorocarbon, CFC, sulfur hexafluoride, that are having a capacity to trap that particular long wave radiation. CO2 is the major and king and the noble gas which is responsible for the major global warming, because CO2 absorb the long wave radiation in more and intense amount and send back this radiation again on the earth's surface, so that the earth become more warmer than regular. Right? So that is called as a greenhouse gas. Heat island effect is there. We are tending towards the urbanization, infrastructure development, multi-scraps building, skyscrapers building, but we are not following some of the bylaws that has been laid down by the local municipal corporation or the competent authority, wherein what we take oxygen, what we release is CO2. So if the hot gas is there, CO2 that has been released by the human being, so of course it is hot in nature, that hot gas goes up, and it should not go in a vertical manner. It has to be required some momentum in a circular way. So there is no space between two buildings, two houses, two row houses. So there should not, the movement is very least, movement is hampered. The replacement of CO2 with respect to the oxygen, so that CO2 remains as it is for the longer time at the low level. It absorbs the heat and it increases the earth temperature, rather surrounding temperature. What I was telling before, that greenhouse effect is something like a global scale. Now we should have to think about what about the macro scale and micro scale. Dust devil effect. Early in the morning, you can go any of the city, you can find lot of dust, especially in the month of summer season. That dust has had a completely cover over the city. That is called as a dust devil effect, which harms the human body. The suspended particulate matter that has been inhaled by the human being. So it is somewhat serious. So for that purpose, we need to see some of the meteorological parameters that affecting the air quality. First is the temperature. Next one is the wind speed and direction. Mixing height, MMD, maximum mixing depth. Then the precipitation, cloud cover, and the humidity. Which are the various factors affect the air quality is the source of air pollution, types, and meteorological parameters. So we need to go for the detail of the year-wise data. You can see over here PM 2.5 concentration. So that is the air quality monitoring. Again, we come to the air quality index. Air quality index means how much good quality of air surrounds us, like water quality index. So there are different objectives served by AQI. So there are different methods to find out the air quality index. So these are some of the pollutants that we are considering for the determination of air quality index. So this is the standard formula to calculate the air quality index. Is nothing but, you can see AQI value of corresponding to the BHL. BHL is a breakpoint concentration. IL0, AQI corresponding value. Again, BHL by minus BL naught. BL naught is a breakpoint concentration into CP pollutant concentration minus BL naught plus IL naught. IL naught is AQI value corresponds to that particular. Now, this is what the detailed procedure to determine the air quality index, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 for the determination of air quality index. Now, you can find there on a Central Pollution Control Board side, there is a AQI calculator. So you should download it and you can work on it. In the air pollution, horizontal dispersion is not expected, but because we should have to understand the vertical movement of the air. Because the air parcel, which is hot in nature, there is one force that is called as a buoyancy force, which always keeps the balloon, rather air parcel, to lift to the high. Likewise, we should already learn this in ELR, environmental lapse rate, superadiabatic lapse rate, subadiabatic lapse rate. When ELR is 0, when ELR is negative, it is called as isothermal condition. When ELR is negative, we called it as an inversion condition. So, rising of the air parcel must be warmer than the surrounding, or the cooling of the air parcel must be denser than this thing. So these are some of the terminologies wherein still some research work is to be expected. There are different types of air dispersion models. What is air dispersion model? Air dispersion model is nothing but I have let us say RDS, respirable dust sampler. I have a fine dust sampler. I have a high volume sampler. There is a source. It may be a point source, line source, area source. We people are called as a receptors. So how much concentration I'll be getting at the receptor end without using the instrument. So that is called as a air modeling system or air dispersion system at the receptor level. So there are famous some of the old model, but still they are used in the market, like Gaussian dispersion model, Gaussian line source model, Gaussian point source model, Gaussian area source model, Kaline model, Kalpoff model, regional atmospheric modeling system, box model, and nowadays people are using like AeroMod, which is nothing but the combination of all these model, but wherein you should have to feel the basic meteorological as well as climatological data for the last 20 to 30 years. So that air dispersion model, you need to require this data, background concentration, meteorological condition, source data, model option, etc. You just put it into the air dispersion model and you can have the assessment of potential environmental health effect. So there is a special variation, spectral variation data by using air dispersion model. So you can find out there is a zoning. Zoning means proper use of proper land for proper purpose. Where to set the industry? You should have to do the serious analysis of wind pattern, that is called as a windrows. Your city should be at the leeward side of the industry so that direct emission should not come into your industry. Industry should be windward side of, so whatever wind that should not comes into the city, rather it go away from the city. So these are the air pollution with a clear understanding of how pollutants spread and where hotspots are located. We can address the primary sector like urban, transport, and industrial sector that contribute to the air pollution. So by using models. So sector-wise mitigation measure to control air pollution, proper land use planning like zoning, cleaner fuels and stoves. We should have to go for the biofuels, solar lighting, ban on refuse burning, road quality and cleanliness, dust control at the construction site, and the waste to energy. That is in an urban sector. In a transportation sector, prioritize public transport, promote non-motorized modes of transport, fuel quality and vehicle emission norms like Bharat Stage, Euro standards, promote electric mobility, traffic signal improvement, transit bypass, strengthen the inspection and maintenance program like PUC. In an industrial sector, incentive-based program. Then performance rating mechanism, online monitoring, then air pollution control devices. We need to install. some of the air pollution control devices into the industry, which reduces the pollution that is coming from the industry. Now, how can industry meet the strictly air quality standard? What technologies they are maintaining they are maintaining the productivity? So you can see there is a basic mechanism that is called as a gravity settling chamber. As you go ahead somewhat from the gravity settling chamber, it is subsidized by the cyclone separator. Then there is a baghouse filter. Then there is a scrubber, and at the last, the most prominent and the appropriate technology is called as electrostatic precipitator, wherein it gives me the 99.99% efficiency for the particle size 0.001 micron. But if you compare the cost of gravity settling chamber and the cost of electrostatic precipitator, if you compare the particle range that is coming in a GSC and in electrostatic precipitator, if you compare the operation and maintenance cost, then gravity settling chamber is much cheaper than the ESP. If you think about the scrubber, wherein we are adding the water or the wastewater for the scrubbing of the various air pollutants, but here we are reducing the air pollutant and there we are increasing the wastewater. So it should be have a proper balance. Now you can see there are some advanced air pollution control devices. It is a cost minimization as well as the efficiency. So you can have to go for the Venturi scrubber, spray tower, packed bed tower. Then there is a baghouse filter, back filter, and at the last is electrostatic precipitator, where I told you that in most of the sugar industry, thermal power plants, they are using the electrostatic precipitator because it gives me the high efficiency. It completely gives me the clean gas at the out, as well as all the particulate matter which is from the laden gas. What is laden gas? What I'm telling you, laden gas is nothing but the combination of the dirty gas, polluted gas with the particulate matter. So I'll get 98 to 99.9% efficiency for the particulate matter. Then agriculture sector, there must be some dedicated policies, biomass briquette utilization, value added products, village level involvement, so that we can mitigate the air pollution. Now health impact, the very first health impact of the air pollutant, if you see from the pyramid from the top to the bottom, immediately it causes the death. So how much pollution exposure is also equally important. I have showed some of the graphical representation over here. See, oxygen react 1:1% with the blood. But when you expose to the carbon monoxide reacts with the blood 256 times more than the oxygen. And it will be immediately form the carboxyhemoglobin. Isn't it? So this is what the potential of the various criteria pollutant or major air pollutant which can harm, not can harm, which harms the human body. So that's why everywhere you can see that VOC, volatile organic carbon. So that's why we are spending most of the time in a home. So all these paints, varnishes, wherein there is the involvement of volatile organic carbon that has been removed. So these are the impact of the various air pollutant that everyone knows. Noise. Noise is derived from the Latin word nausea, implying unwanted sound. Now you can see the major source of noise pollution in India: transportation, industrial, construction, commercial, and special household activities. So there are different types of noise level limit during the daytime and the night time. We oftenly take our finger and insert into our ear, and we are just putting it in the ear and we just move it. What is it? It is nothing but the impact of noise pollution. We can find twee like this sound in the ear. What is it? It is the impact of air pollution that is called as a tinnitus. If my memories become fed, if I cannot remember the things frequently, then it is the impact of noise and air. If I wearing the glasses, specs, then this is the impact of noise and air pollution. Damnesia, tinnitus, There are different types. Noise-induced hearing losses are there. It may be permanent or it may be temporary. Threshold, dosimeter. There is one concept that is called as a dosimeter. What is dosimeter? Is nothing but you can take the instrument and you can walk in the road, industry, commercial area, and at the last you should calculate that how much noise level you are exposed daily. So that's why for silent, residential, commercial, and industrial zone, the noise limit has been set down. Sound level emitter you can use for the measurement of noise. So noise level mapping has been done. So there are also some of the models which can gives me the concentration of the noise at various level. So how we can control the noise pollution at the source, in transmission path, and at the receiver level by using various technologies. So impact, mortality, risk factors are there, stress indicators are there. So future outlook, we are coming to the end of that particular session. So smart cities and sustainable urban planning needs to be required. Water conservation and pollution control, green technology and renewable energy, climate resilience, carbon neutrality and ecosystem conservation, circular economy, we must shift to the circular models, economical models, EPR policies, and innovative solution. I think I have covered most of the part. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Shrikant.
That was indeed very vast. It was very, very vast.
Yeah.
You have taken a real, very comprehensive class.
Actually, I wanted to, you know what, I told to Shrikant that only touching to the concept is not important, but we should involve ourselves and reach up to the grassroots level. Even though I want to make a rainwater harvesting, should I competent to make the rainwater harvesting even for my home? If you incorporate this technology, first you adopt it for our home or house, and wherein for that purpose you need to require the thorough knowledge of that particular point. Even though there are some good designer and practitioners and consultants are available in the field of environmental engineering, but I feel that unless and until I should start with the me, then it will not work.
That's true.
Yeah. I guess session was somewhat good, not boring.
No, not at all. You have touched upon so many factors.
Yeah.
So many factors. It was, a complete, holistic.
Holistic. That's why the name is given holistic and sustainable approach.
Okay. Any question and answer session? Anybody has there in the chat box or something? Gaurav?
Yes, madam. We have some questions.
Anybody? Any questions?
Yes, madam. We have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you, sir, for your insightful and thought-provoking presentation on the theme. Now, on behalf of our audience, I would like to ask a few questions. First question is, beside rainwater harvesting, as you mentioned in PPT, are there any other water conservation or treatment system that individual can install at home to provide or manage water quality, sir?
Pardon, I didn't get your question.
Actually, sir,
Gaurav?
as you mentioned in...
Gaurav?
Hello?
1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Gaurav, please come on video so that, people will understand it better,
Okay.
what you're asking.
Sorry, due to some technical problem, I cannot...
Okay. Then repeat the question.
Yeah, sir, as you mentioned in your PPT, rainwater harvesting system. So, is there any other system or treatment system that individual can install at their home to improve the water quality or improve water quality or manage water quality?
See, for increase of the water quality, rainwater harvesting and the water quality, these are like other coins of the soil, the two sides of the coins, isn't it?
Probably he wants to ask that, you collected rainwater, fine.
Yeah, yeah.
And thereafter, you want to ensure that that is good enough for your regular consumption.
Okay,
so
okay. So that
do you have
okay.
anything? Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that when we install the rainwater harvesting system, and there are two methods. One, you are doing the groundwater recharge, and another one is you are using it for the daily purpose. So in a rainwater harvesting system itself, we install some low sand filters. Low sand filter or low volume filters like wetland, where we are adding gravel, where we are adding the pebble, where we are adding the sand layers, which automatically removes some of the constituent from the water, so that it should not become harmless to the human being, and which definitely helps to increase the water quality, because during the rainy season you can find the pollution level is less due to the dispersion and dilution.
That's true.
So right, no? So we can go for the sustainable sand filter design for the rainwater harvesting.
Right.
Even right now, some in the multinational cities, they have installed in the pipe some small filters, so which automatically removes various constituents which are coming from the water.
Okay.
We called it as an in-pipe filtration system.
Right. I've heard about it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Our next question is, are there any mobile app or website where we can check water quality index data for our city or locality?
There is an app there in a Central Pollution Control Board site, CPCB, or and the MPCB, wherein we can get the water quality index, air quality index, and noise quality index. www.mpcb.gov.in. श्रीकांत त्याच्यावरच आहे ना, बरोबर ना? आपल्याला मिळतात. And many students, I appreciate that the student from the core branches, now they are developing some of the things in the field of environmental engineering by using AI. Right now they're starting creating the app that is present air quality. But madam, I would like to tell is that when you use the sensor, to measure any kind of contaminant or the pollutant, instead of that, we should have to go for the actual measurement. Because for the sensor, we have assigned one value. And if that gases has been sensed by that particular sensor, then it tells me, yes, it tells me that NOx%. But when two gases comes in a combination and they are having some empirical formula, molecular weight, or composition equivalent to the NOx, it will determine it as a NOx. So we need to go for the proper calibration. That's why I told source invention is also equally important. So there are right now various apps are there, indoor air quality. So which can gives me the levels of water pollution, which can gives me the levels of air pollution and noise pollution as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No, you should have to ask multiple questions. Huh? I'm not satisfied. When I called it as a fruitful session, I want some of the question in the field of air pollution. Please.
Yes, sir. Next question is from solid waste, sir. Is there any official document or guideline available that explains solid waste segregation in details, especially for the atom? We often get confused about whether it is dry or wet waste.
Yes, even I have that doubt.
Will you please ask the doubt again, because there is some connection issue or error?
Sir, actually, we want to ask that is any official document or guideline available in which there is a detailed bifurcation that this atom is in dry waste or this item is
Okay,
in wet
okay.
waste.
Got my
But
point.
in detail, sir.
Yes, I got my point. There is a Government of India publishes every year manual. One is a solid waste manual, another one is a water supply manual, next one is a wastewater manual, wherein you can get the waste segregation, which comes under the dry waste, which come under the wet waste. What are the rules for the dry waste disposal, wet waste disposal, biomedical waste, hazardous waste, e-waste? Everything is there in a solid waste manual, and they publish it and revise it periodically. And these are freely available on the government website.
Okay, sir, is there any app there?
Yes, Solid Waste Management Act, Solid Waste Management Handling Rule,
No,
biomedical waste.
app. I am asking about app in which we can put the
Now
item
life
and
is
we can
about
get it.
apps.
Apps. Okay. I don't think is there any kind of app is related with the solid waste is concerned.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
now I
next
have a question here.
Yeah.
Gaurav, before I forget, let me ask him. What exactly is the difference? What do you have the difference between incineration and open waste burning? Open waste burning, I know what it is, but what exactly, why it is said
Yeah.
that incineration is not harmful?
Yeah, madam, when I was a student, I worked in a Maharashtra Enviro Power Limited SMS infrastructure, which is their Pune Ranjangaon. They were having a plasma incinerator, right? So when any waste which is having a high calorific value, that waste sends for the incineration. Okay, so that plasma incinerator, what it do in the MEPL or SMS infrastructure, they use entire hazardous waste that we cannot either use for the landfill or something like that. They incinerate it round about 3000 to 4000 degrees centigrade, and they are converted into the molten magma. And that molten magma, they are using it for the road construction or preparation of the paving blocks. And whatever the energy that is coming from the incineration, they are using it for the heat generation or cogeneration. Now there is a difference between incineration and burning. There is a difference between dumping and landfilling. What is when you do the burning with the controlled temperature, pressure is called as a incineration.
But
And
is the output always measured? What are the gases coming out or something? After all these melting, some portion it will go as a gas, right?
yes, that's why they have installed 2 electrostatic precipitator and 1 wet scrubber, very resident to that particular incinerator plasma plant. And they are claiming that it is a zero waste discharge. And I personally observed that. I have checked the quality, ambient air quality, as well as stack monitoring of that particular site.
And then molten, you said, the molten,
Hazardous
plasma
waste.
type, okay. Well, so how that will get transported? Or
So,
will it cool and then solidify?
They cool it, they solidify it. Sometimes they can dump in a liquid form also. In an incinerator. And
Okay.
after that, you are asking about the input material or output material?
Output. Input
Output of incinerator.
Yes.
Output of incinerator. See, there is a proper cement, sand, and aggregate ratio for the any road or paving block. So there is a replacement of sand with respect to that particular molten magma or that material in somewhat percentage. So also there are some of the tests that needs to be carried out to check the or that strength of that particular block, how much replacement can be done. But
Okay.
it is well operated site. I personally feel that if anybody wants to see how the landfilling is done, how the incineration is done, then everyone has to visit the Maharashtra Enviro Power Limited, which is there in Pune Ranjangaon. SMS Infra. Srikanth, we had a visit over MEPL.
Yes, sir. I remember it was in undergraduate studies.
Yeah, undergraduate study.
MEPL.
MEPL. That landfill session, madam, they were having hazardous waste management landfill session. They have used such a nice geomembrane, geoliner, then methane detection system, leachate treatment plant. Then they are doing it the phase wise disposal of that hazardous waste, having a post closure period of 50 years.
Oh,
I have seen it. I have seen it. I have taken the sample, and before sending any kind of waste, for whether it is for the landfilling or the incineration, they first do the analysis in the lab. They are having a very big shot lab. Total organic carbon, total volatile carbon, pH, its alkalinity, total solid content, ash content, hazardous waste content, heavy metal content. Nicely operated. I was so
okay,
impressed.
but how much do you have? What percentage do you think that is coming and processed by that particular firm of the
Okay.
all whatever generated?
Government of Maharashtra as well as the Central Pollution Control Board, they are forced that if you want to dispose the hazardous waste, then it should be treated as CHWTSDF, Central Hazard Waste Treatment and Disposal Facility System. So all the hazardous waste which is generated in the Maharashtra, previously it was goes to the two plant. One is a SMS infrastructure MEPL Pune, and another one is at Talode, Mumbai. It is forced and it is being imbibed, it is enforced rather.
Okay.
Sir, next question is, how can the general public be more involved in environmental engineering projects or solution, even if they are not from the technical background?
Okay, so basically you need to undergo for some of the programs like IITM Institute, what they are conducting some awareness program, out of which if what you feel no, मेरे इस सेशन से एक भी बंदा एनवायरमेंट में काम करने के लिए तैयार हो जाए, that is what the success of my seminar. Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
it should
sir.
be thirst. It should be thirst. You can ask the value of good air to the Delhi people.
Yes, sir.
You can ask the value of the good air to the Delhi people. You can ask the value of the good water to the Noida people. They'll tell you.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? We do not have clean air to breathe. We do not have clean water to drink. We do not have clean food to eat. Then there is a big question. I should have to determine the age quality, like water quality, air quality, then age quality. Should I sustain more than 60 years? I need to find some of the place on moon, Saturn, somewhere, so as to get a good quality.
Yes, sir. Sir, next question is,
This
are
is the
there
last
any...
question. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are there any government rule that require industry to consider wind direction before the starting operation? And in reality,
Yes.
these rules
Yes.
are actually being followed?
Yeah. The thing is that when any industry is getting set up, the industry has to go for the environmental clearance.
Yes,
The
sir.
industry has to go for the environmental impact assessment. There are two types of environmental impact assessment, one which is called as a short EIA and another one is a long EIA, wherein they have to consider all the environmental parameters like air, in the air, temperature, pressure, wind direction, wind velocity, wind frequency, relative humidity, absolute humidity, UV index, all the parameter, rain pattern, for water sources to the disposal, all the study they has to conduct. So unless and until, and the last part is a public hearing. Last part is a public hearing wherein, like, we are the receptor, we are likely to get suffered. So in a public hearing, they ask the question like anything. And if the public hearing is satisfactory, then only the government of Maharashtra or the India allow industry to set up at any of the designated location.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you want to say something?
No. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So now to formally conclude the today's session, I would like to invite Ms. Komal Shinde to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Komal.
I would like to take one question.
Hmm.
This was a quite descriptive and very knowledgeful session. So the presentation was a reflection of your vast knowledge covering all the sectors in this environmental engineering field. But I would like to know more about some CapEx and OpEx approaches. On the slide number 29, you are showing that there are some shifting approaches towards sustainability.
Yeah.
Out of which there were some one of the aspect was CapEx and OpEx. So will
Okay.
you please elaborate about it?
See, I'll just tell you one point, Srikant. In the industry,
Yes.
there is a corrective and preventive action.
Yes.
What we are doing is corrective action. What we are doing is a corrective action. So I personally feel that instead of that, we should have to go for the preventive action, so that we should not make it to be done. Isn't it? What police used to do, he is always on the other side of the road. If he remain on the least side of the road, the people used to drive the car by wearing the helmet, they using the seat belt and other things. I hope you got my point.
Yes, yes. Prevention is better than cure, as we
Cure.
say.
Prevention is always better than cure.
Yes. Please, Komal ma'am, you can continue.
नमस्कार, मैं कोमल शिंदे IITM EIACP केंद्र पुणे की ओर से आज के इस विश्व प्राकृतिक संरक्षण दिवस 2025 के अवसर पर आयोजित विशेष वेबिनार में उपस्थित रहने वाले के लिए सभी का धन्यवाद करती हूँ। सर्वप्रथम मैं डॉक्टर सौरभ एस जोशी सर का अत्यंत आभार प्रकट करती हूँ, जिन्होंने आज के विशेष प्रकृति संरक्षण में पर्यावरण अभियांत्रिकी की भूमिका पर अत्यंत ज्ञानवर्धक और प्रेरणादायक विचार साझा किया। आपका मार्गदर्शन हमें प्रकृति संरक्षण की दिशा में नए दृष्टिकोण और विचार प्रदान करता है। मैं हमारे EICP समन्वय डॉक्टर लता मैडम को विशेष धन्यवाद करती हूँ, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने के लिए सतत मार्गदर्शन और प्रोत्साहन दिया। साथ ही मैं IITM-EIACP केंद्र पुणे की संपूर्ण टीम का आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ, जिन्होंने इस वेबिनार को आयोजन, तकनीकी समन्वय, डिजाइनिंग और प्रचार प्रसार के अहम भूमिका निभाई। अंत में हमारे सभी प्रतियोगी, शिक्षकों, विद्यार्थियों और दर्शकों का हार्दिक धन्यवाद, जिन्होंने समय निकालकर इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में भाग लिए। आइए हम सब मिलकर मिशन लाइफ यानी पर्यावरण पूरक जीवन शैली के संदेश को अपनाइए और प्राकृतिक संरक्षण के लिए छोटे छोटे प्रयासों को अपनाएं, जीवन का हिस्सा बनाएं। धन्यवाद।
Now I, on behalf of KIT's College of Engineering, Empowered Autonomous Kolhapur, I would like to thanks Latha R. I told you that I am like a sand particle in ocean, but she has invited she has invited me in such a reputed and big renowned organization and giving me the opportunity to portray my knowledge, to portray the things in the field of environmental engineering. So it is a great pleasure for me. I also thank one of my sincere and good student, Mr. Srikant Jadhav, who was always, he's always keen to understand the things, even though at his UG level and the PG level also. He did really nice project in the field of water and wastewater engineering. Also thanks to entire IITM team. Very nice vote of thanks given by Komal Shinde madam in the Hindi. We were used to listen like these things on the radio, isn't it? It was really nice. Once again, thank you very much to all the participant organizers, IITM. Let's do some combined project. Let's do some combined work so as to mitigate the air pollution worldwide and the globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.